Hey everybody, Mario here, otherwise known as Y2 on the interwebs, and welcome to another edition of the Reboot Review. Last week, I got 4 new comics from the DC 52, and all 4 of them are good. Well, 3 of them are really good, and the 4th one, well, I'll get to it in a minute. Alright, well, let's get started with Batgirl number 4. You know, I really wanted to give Batgirl and its writer Gail Simone a really good chance. I did, and I also gave him a couple benefits of the doubts. It's not going so good. This is the conclusion to the story arc with the Mirror, the villain the Mirror, who is on a deadly crusade to kill people who have survived by some sort of miracle, because he thinks that that is unnatural. Basically, he's thrown a giant temper tantrum because he didn't fare as well with his own matters, with his own story. And Batgirl's is like, oh hell no, I'm gonna stop you. Except she has failed to do so 3 times. So we know who the Mirror is, we know what his MO is, but Barbara's just trying to track him down. We do see some other things in this issue, namely we do see Barbara being vulnerable, and she does talk to her roommate, whom the name escapes me, but that's probably because she's not really relevant to the series and hasn't been since when we first saw her in issue 1. But here she serves her purpose as a shoulder for Barbara to cry on, and we should learn a little bit about Barbara, about what she likes, about what her family is about, what she likes for Christmas, about her mother, which plays in a little bit later at the end of the issue with the, I guess, surprise ending. From what I understand, Barbara is pretty damn smart, right? She's good with computers. She has an IQ that is up there. She's pretty good at doing some detective work. She has a photographic memory. She even says so in this issue. But none of that even comes into play at all in these 4 issues. At all. Like, we hear her saying, oh, I'm good at this. Oh, I got this. Oh, I can remember all of this. But it never really comes into play. And it continues when Batgirl tries to track down the Mirror, and the way she comes about it, the way she figures out where he is pretty much an obvious way to do it. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was reading, honestly. I really thought I was reading another rough draft of the actual issue 4. But nope, this is the final draft. This is the final copy right here, and it's not cool. So I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil how Barbara figures this out. I mean, I should. I really want to because it's so stupid. But I would rather let you find this little moment of durr for yourself. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you a similar situation to give you an idea of how ridiculous this little scene in the issue is. Let's go to that right now. Damn it, this door is locked. How the hell am I ever going to get in? I mean, how am I going to do this? Wait, I got it. This door has a hole in it. A hole, a skinny little hole. You can put something in it to make it open, but I just don't know what it is. It's a hole, and it's used to open it. It's okay. It's probably something metal. It's probably something that has the same shape as this hole. It's T, P, G, wait, damn it, wait. What's that noise? There's something metal in my pocket. Wait a minute. Maybe one of these will get me into the door. Get me into the house. Is it this one? No? Is it this one? No? Okay, maybe it's this one. A key! Success! Yeah, that should give you a good idea of just how dumb the whole thing with Batgirl tracking down the mirror was. In fact, I'm really sorry I had to do that, but I think that was the only way he would know. So in summary, this is a pretty disappointing issue. It's a pretty disappointing conclusion to a pretty lackluster story arc. There is kind of a twist at the end with a figure from Barbara's past showing up literally at her doorstep. I just didn't care. I mean, I'm really starting to doubt whether or not I can continue with this series. I'm really disappointed just how it's been playing out. I'm really disappointed in Gail Simone. I've seen some of her other work. She can do so much better, and this could be better. If you are a huge fan of Batgirl, or just like to collect Bat books, or if you're like me that just collects a random assortment of comics, then yeah, pick it up. But otherwise, this is kind of a pass. Next up is Batman and Robin number 4. Alright, well, I'm enjoying this little noir type artwork here by Patrick Gleason. And Peter Tomasi's writing is still stellar. We get to see hints of something bad going down. I've already mentioned it when I reviewed the last issue. Here we get to see more signs of it. So we start off with Batman and Robin literally in a bind. Nobody explaining his reasons for doing what he's doing, with Batman countering him. And I gotta tell you, I kind of found myself siding with nobody a little bit. Not all the way. Batman is still right in some things, but he just does make a couple of good points. And you can tell, especially with the heated argument that Damian and Bruce get into later, you can tell which way the pendulum's going to swing for Damian. I kind of already knew that this dynamic duo wasn't really going to stay strong or stay together. But the cracks are starting to show in this issue, and I really like it. This is a character-driven book. This series has been pretty solid so far, and I'm really liking the dialogue. I'm really liking the interaction. Everybody who is a main character in this has stepped up, brought their A game, and I'm really enjoying it. Peter Tomasi does some excellent writing with this, and again, Patrick Gleason's artwork, the noir-type, dark tone feel, it just meshes together well. It's a solid issue. I can't wait to see how this plays out because, well, the writing's on the wall for which way Damian's going to go. I mean, it's kind of obvious. So we'll see what happens. That's the only question left. Next up, Batwoman number 4. I'm loving it. The artwork, once again, is stellar. It is, quite honestly, the best artwork I've seen in DC, in the entire DC lineup. That being said, it's a rather inspired choice that that J.H. Williams III is going for. This is the Bat book where it really is about the supernatural. It covers nothing but the supernatural here. I mean, I'm really appreciating the whole thing with Kate Kane and her relationship, which we get to see quite a bit of, especially some of the more hot and heavy scenes, which I like that. Not the gratuitous. It wasn't even gratuitous. It was tastefully done, and I really like the contrasting artwork between that scene and the fight scene that her cousin Betty is involved in, which for poor Betty goes seriously south. But that's all I'm going to say. You have to check this out. It really is a good issue. The DEO was at it again, and man, they really use an underhanded trick to try to get more info about Batwoman, specifically her identity, and they may have done it in this issue. Not going to say much more than that. You have to read this for yourself. I'm still not sure what the whole deal with La Llorona is. I really don't know what direction they're going to take with that, but it is pretty freaky. We do get to see that La Llorona is not the only supernatural thingy-mabob running around in Gotham. It's an inspired choice. It's different. I'm not sure what I feel about it yet, but the artwork has me hooked, and the characters have me hooked. And that's enough for me right for now. I really hope this gets wrapped up soon. I really don't want it to stray off into a wild tangent or to become stale. It's doing well so far, and I really hope it stays the course, and I really hope that this gets an awesome conclusion that it deserves. Batwoman, once again, molto bene, and I really hope issue 5 is more of the same. And finally, my pick for this installment of the Reboot review, Green Lantern number 4. I may have said this the last 3 times. But I'm going to say it again. Making Sinestro a Green Lantern was quite possibly the best decision to have ever come from the DC crew. We are really getting a ton of character development with Sinestro. Making him more than just the one-dimensional villain that he's been portrayed for the longest time is really helping his character, the growing fandom of his character, which includes myself, and the series in general. And finally, Hal's starting to step up a little bit, but I still notice that he's still more of a passenger in this crazy car ride. Sinestro's the one that's on the driver's seat, and it's pretty much obvious in issue 4. So we get to find out more about Sinestro's planet, Korrigar, and the fact that he's not exactly really loved there, and it really comes into play here. Things go pretty south with these guys. As awesome as Hal and Sinestro are, they do eventually get overwhelmed by the Sinestro Corps, and we find our 2 heroes in a bind. I'm still not completely over as to how the hell Hal survived what went down in issue 3, but it works for me. Sinestro makes a decision at the end of the issue that may have been noble in its intent, but doesn't exactly go as planned. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how things play out in the 5th issue. Jeff Johns, again, the writing, he gets to the core of Green Lantern, and to Sinestro. We really are getting Sinestro as a character fleshed out in these issues, and I'm loving Johns' decision for it. Doug Mankey's artwork is once again stellar. The vibrant colors for each Lantern cores that we've seen so far, and each setting, really stands out for me, and it makes me enjoy reading the comic. Pick this up, okay? I love all the Lantern series, but this is the one that has me most at the edge of my seat. This is the Lantern series you want to own if you must own only one. But if you have more money or whatever, yeah, pick up the other ones as well. This is clearly, hands down, sorry Batwoman, but this was hands down my favorite pick for this installment of the Reboot review. What'd you think about these 4 issues? Is there anything else that you've been reading that I haven't? If you want, drop down a comment and let me know. Maybe you have a different opinion on what I just said about these 4 comics. Let me know. Anyway, folks, that about does it. I'm off to do my babysitting gig, and I'll see you guys around. Live Nerdcore, Y2M out.